My name is Sam Vaknin. I am the author of Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited. Many scholars consider pathological narcissism to be a form of depressive illness. This is the position of the authoritative magazine Psychology Today, for instance. The life of the typical narcissist is indeed punctuated with recurrent bouts of dysphoria, ubiquitous sadness and hopelessness, anhedonia, loss of the ability to feel pleasure, and clinical forms of depression, cyclothymic, dysthymic, or some other episode. This picture is further obfuscated by the frequent presence of mood disorders, such as the bipolar I disorder. While the distinction between reactive, exogenous, and endogenous depression is now obsolete, it is still useful in the context of narcissism. Narcissists react with depression not only to life crises, but to fluctuations in narcissistic supply and to the internal dynamics that these fluctuations generate. The narcissist
I'm the least depressed person I know.
Disorganized.
I'll rinse my plate one more.
Precariously balanced. The narcissist regulates his sense of self-worth by consuming narcissistic supply from others, from his human environment. Narcissistic supply is attention, adulation, admiration. The narcissist uses this feedback, uses these human inputs to regulate his self-confidence, self-esteem, and his sense of self-worth. Any threat to the uninterrupted flow of narcissistic supply compromises the psychological integrity and the ability to function of the narcissist. It is perceived by the narcissist, consequently, as life-threatening. So we have several types of dysphoria and depression in pathological narcissism. First, there is the loss-induced dysphoria. This is a narcissist
Lost in juice?
the loss of one or more sources of narcissistic supply, or to the disintegration of a pathological narcissistic space, the geographical area within which the narcissist hunts for sources of supply. The pathological narcissistic space is the stalking or hunting grounds of the narcissist. It is the geographical social unit whose members lavish the narcissist with attention, admiration, adulation. When these people disperse or refuse to continue to provide the narcissist with his supply, the narcissist goes into deep funk, deep depression. Then we have the deficiency-induced dysphoria. This is a deep and acute depression, which follows the aforementioned losses of supply sources and space. Having mourned these losses, the narcissist now grieves their inevitable.
Alright. Nathan Ninjax, Iman Dog, Godo Enjoyer 420, and Clayton _ Mein God.
Can anyone diagnose a narcissist? Can you diagnose your narcissist?
An abusive
His name was Sam Vaknin.
physical abuse.
Diagnosed as a clinical narcissist, he did time in an Israeli jail for securities fraud. Since then, he's moved to Macedonia and bent his own condition into an online business as an expert on the subject.
Not all abusers or jerks are narcissists, although all narcissists are abusers and jerks.
Yet, as we corresponded over bringing him to the UK, I began to realise that his being self-aware definitely wasn't the same as saying he was cured.
So I managed to track down an actual narcissist, and already it seems the narcissistic abuse has begun over email, and it spread to our production coordinator, who received an email from Mr. Sam Vaknin saying, I know it is none of my business, and I apologise for butting in, but I simply cannot contain myself. I checked with Wizz Air, and the cost of 2 flights is £160. I have no idea how you could possibly have ended up being charged £690. It sure looks like you're being overcharged egregiously. Additionally, it's just the sheer, I guess, the grandiosity and self-centeredness of the fact that he's double-starred this email. He's flagged it up as a super high priority with 2 exclamation marks. You know someone's got a personality disorder when they start double-starring their emails as high priority. And the grandiosity then continues in the last email I got from him. Modesty aside, making a film about narcissism without my participation is like making a feature about the 2016 elections without mentioning Trump. Brackets, laughing.
After many more emails in which I was alternately sub and dom in this low-wattage BDSM business battle, we finally got him to London. At the pub, I asked him to explain the roots of his condition.
First time I was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder in Canada when my fiancée wisely broke up with me.
Tell me a bit more about your prehistory with all of this. I mean, you were a child once. Were you aware that you were different in some unknowable way?
I was a very disruptive kid at school and at home, and I was subject to seriously horrendous abuse. I mean,
Really? Inside the home?
yeah, at home. It is the common perception today that narcissism is a reaction to prolonged, protracted and traumatic abuse in early childhood. And I had these in ample quantities. I was sent to this psychiatrist and he measured my IQ, and it was, at the time, 195, which is considered pretty rare.
Yes.
So at age 9 I was plucked out of elementary school and I was sent to university.
Fucking Starbucks
I
psychologist.
was an idol.
185.
So it messed up my mind.
Okay.
Messed up my mind completely. And I believe my narcissism has developed as a reaction to all this.
Do you have any friends as a child?
No.
Was that...
That's an easy one. I don't think I can be a true friend to anyone, in the sense that I don't think I will have an emotional correlate. If I become friends with you, there will always be the question of what's in it for me? How can I leverage you to obtain certain goals? There will always be some kind of comeuppance, like I would always try to compete with you and establish a hierarchy. It will be contaminated, a contaminated version of friendship.
185 IQ.
I sincerely doubt whether it complies with the definition.
Sam seemed quite charming for a narcissist, but then, as he'd reminded me earlier, that was just another weapon deployed in the narc's endless social gamesmanship. Many others seemed to presuppose it, but did Sam think we were living through a golden age of narcissism?
Is the trend line upwards for narcissists?
I think we're at the tipping point. On the one hand, we will have pathological narcissism, diagnosable, treatable. And on the other hand, we will have socially condoned, accepted and encouraged type of narcissism, including values such as ambition and drive and ruthlessness and lack of empathy and so on. And these behavior patterns will be rewarded by society. So it will pay to be a narcissist. Crime pays, narcissism pays.
And this is being fanned by social media?
I think it's quite the opposite, actually. I think it was the rising wave of narcissism that led to the development of social media.
Does that scare you or delight you that you may have many thousands more narcissistic brothers and sisters soon?
Narcissists are absolutely the stuff horror movies are made of. They are ominous. They are self-destructive. They are self-defeating. You can't build anything solid on a narcissistic society and collective.
And so you're essentially uncurable?
All narcissists are essentially incurable. Yes. I'm being a narcissist, of course. I'm incurable.
Oh no. Neville, sorry, I think man, 07. Forsen's Minecraft narrator. Thank you for 55 months, sir.